A quick update on Bug Izzy. So this is where I've got to. All the battery area of the ECU has been removed, so I need to do that to get to the gearbox. The gearbox mountings are there, buried underneath that lot. The engine mounting on this side is there. Now to go further, I need to take this off, which is the aircon condenser. And this is the R1234YF aircon gas. And it's the latest gas, and you need a different machine to the one I've got to drain it. I could just let it go to the atmosphere, but that's actually a bit naughty as well. So I need a way of draining the gas. Then I'll drain the radiator, and then this whole front will come off, and then I can get the crane in and lift the engine out. So the engine is, well, to be honest, it'll be out in the next hour if I could get that off, but that's where I'm at. I'm just draining the oil out of the car. I've got the front off now, air conditioning's been degassed, and there should be 5-point-something litres of oil in the sump, and this is basically, it's nowhere near that's 5 litres. So I think probably the reason for the failure of the engine is lack of oil. That's what I'm seeing at the moment anyway. As you can see, the engine is now out. That's your DPF there. Gearbox has now got to come off, which is there. That's your turbo and your cam chain. I've now got the engine mounted on this gantry, so I've got good access, and I've got this special rebuild table underneath with a drain in it and a catch tray, so that all the fluids can be caught and not go everywhere. What I need to do is to drop the sump now. Before I mount the engine on an engine stand, I want to inspect the crank. Now, I want to do that because before I start messing with the timing chain and the timing end and the general setup of the engine, I want to inspect the sump and see what play there is on the big ends. So that's the next step, is drop the sump. So sump's now off, and what we find is major damage. So major that I'm wondering if this engine is salvageable. That is big bits of metal. Oh my goodness. Huge bits of metal. Where I'm at with this, I mean, what we've got there, that's a bit of, that's an oil ring from a piston ring. So most of this is piston, I would say, and what that is, I couldn't say. But there's damage to this part of the, that's a kind of a strainer, or stops the oil flapping around too much. There's swarf in the oil filter or scavenger pump there, and so all of this swarf and metal has come from higher up. Now, if that's a disintegrated piston, the bores themselves will be scored. So if we just replace the piston, you're still going to have a scored bore. I don't think that's a good idea. The chances are the crank's scrap, although we won't know till we get it out. The piston's clearly broken. To repair this, I'm going to have to take the top of the head off, take the pistons out, or what's left of them, put a new piston in, or pistons, until I get into there I won't be able to see which, if it's one or more, and build it up. Now, my best advice, I think, is to buy an engine you can hear running, or a reconditioned short block, and I'll build your ancillaries, your turbo and the other bits and pieces onto the new engine, and put your gearbox onto the new engine and put that back in the car. Because right now, this engine, whilst it probably can survive, you're going to pay for a lot of my time to get to that point, and I think it's probably going to be cheaper in the long run, and you're to buy an engine that's in known good quantity. So that's where we are right now.